It's a drink. Don't you dare miss it. Mr. Wolf and his semi-trained carnivores will be at the fire pit at midnight. Lupolo ops, hopfen, humle, hublan, hoop, poppy, hoppy, hoppy, once wild, always one. What the fuck did that just say?
What language was that?
Well, hello there. Thank you for tuning in to Just a Bit Gaming. I'm your host, Ryan Chumpy Crash Reynolds, and this is your other host, Adrian Berzoy Townsend. Whoop. What the fuck is an Unversed?
Hell if I know, dude. Hell if I know. That was good. I like that.
So, well, hey, how you doing?
I guess that's, to reference, the show's going to be all about Kingdom Hearts today.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There's a lot of firsts going on today.
A lot of firsts.
A lot of firsts on Ryan's side, and I'm excited. I am beyond excited. Ryan, tell him.
Man, let me just get this ball rolling.
Okay.
First off, we haven't recorded an episode in a month.
It's been a while, and I have to apologize. I got sick last time. I still got a little bit of it, but yeah.
I almost, just on sheer needing to talk about Kingdom Hearts, I almost created a side quest episode of my own. I was going to have my brother and talk about it and everything. And then, with Adrian sick and all that, it felt wrong. Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. I don't know how to produce those things with technology, so I didn't commit to the idea, is what I actually mean by it felt wrong.
Well,
I love you all the same.
I could show you some things, some tricks.
Yeah. So I almost put out a side quest episode, but I knew that you'd be really chomping to talk about this.
Dude, I am so chomping to talk about it.
Check this out. Here's some firsts. First, number one, we're going to rewind back to Marvel's Spider-Man.
Okay.
Not only did Fat Big and I do a 100% completion run, but we are now 80% complete on all the DLC, 89% complete on all the DLCs.
So that's a first for you in completion?
Like, once we get the 100% on the DLCs, I can truly say I have never, ever played a video game to the level of completion that I have Marvel's Spider-Man.
That's cool.
Never.
That's cool.
Never, not once.
That's a first that I wasn't thinking about, but that's a good point.
This one, not necessarily a first, but definitely largely unheard of. Bought Kingdom Hearts on release.
Yeah.
I never buy games at release, but we all knew I was going to buy this one at release. And I am further along in the game than you are, by quite a margin.
That's what I was going to say, is like, not only are you further ahead than me by a significant amount, but you are playing the game, a new game, a release game, at the same time as me.
Right.
Which is a first for the show, and I'm so pumped that we can talk about this.
That we can talk about it. I don't have to nod my head and make jokes to cover up the fact that I am not on your level.
You are now exceeding my level this episode.
I feel so powerful.
You got the power?
Yeah, I got this weird naughty tingle that I just can't shake.
Well, keep that tingle to yourself. I don't know that I want it.
You do. But I'll wait. I'll wait till you get a couple of these wild range IPAs in you.
Whoa. Slow down there, man.
I'm just so excited, So, yeah, Fat Big's been playing Kingdom. Actually, it's funny. He started playing it with me. He was into the Disney characters.
Yeah.
But then he was into the Kingdom Hearts characters. And then he started learning names. And then he started playing and learning the moves. And then he started running around the house with an upside-down plastic guitar, pretending it was a Keyblade.
Really?
And then started asking if he could use hairspray and stuff because he wanted to spike his hair up like Sora. And then Tilly wanted to play. And then this is pretty funny. I don't think this is a spoiler. Towards the beginning of San Francisco,
okay,
the Big Hero 6 level.
Haven't got there yet.
Okay, there's a big boss towards the beginning of the level.
Yeah.
It's like a dinosaur. And Malone attempted several times. Couldn't beat it. Passed me the controller. I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm dad. and then promptly got my ass kicked. You know, one of those real put up or shut up moments. I did not put up.
So I'll let you finish, but you're saying that the game does get harder.
It gets very difficult.
Okay. So right now it's a pushover for me.
Yeah, at the beginning it starts off pretty cushy.
Yeah.
And it's not like it gradually builds. It's like there's like a midpoint in the game that's suddenly a turning point, and everything's harder, and everything feels more like the kind of dark, mysterious, like curious, almost uncanny Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 feel that you got. The real light versus dark, the emotional storyline starts to kind of pervade a bit more about it, just past the midpoint.
Okay.
But yeah, so I try to beat this guy several times. I can't beat it. I give the controller back to Malone. He can't beat it again. And then Shelby goes, all right, well, let me try. And then she beats it without healing first try.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then,
has she played the game at all before?
No.
So then there's like...
She has a history of doing this to me.
Okay, this game requires you to know... I mean, it is a button masher to an extent.
Malone had shown her the controls.
Okay.
And so she just kind of took a run at it. I mean, she kind of jumped around and, swung the Keyblade and all that, but nothing, she hadn't done any heavy lifting for sure.
Okay.
So
that's impressive.
Yeah, and now she's playing too. So we've all been swapping the controller around, playing it together. And
it's a family
affair for sure. And it's super fun. We're having a good time with it. I purposely put the brakes on and didn't beat it before this episode.
Just to...
I wanted to still be playing it when we talked about it. I don't know if that seems stupid or silly, but I also don't care. That's the decision I made.
No, it's fine with me.
I wanted to still be playing it when we talked about it.
I
didn't want my sense of wonder to be gone.
Let me ask you this. Compared to where you are in the game, I just reached 100 Acre Wood. How much further are you than me? Or what point of the game am I in? According to the timeline, I'm 14 hours. I have 14 hours of gameplay in the game already.
Okay. I am 38 hours into the game.
Whoa.
Now, a lot of that, you know how I play games.
Right.
A lot of that has been exploration, going back to other worlds, collecting stuff.
It could also be...
Pause time.
Malone playing.
Yeah, just running around, flying the Gummi Ship, stuff like that. We haven't even gone to the 100 Acre Wood yet.
Oh, okay. It is a side quest, so...
Right, which is crazy that we haven't done it.
Yeah.
But I have finished both solar systems. We have finished both solar systems and are at a threshold realm between the two solar systems and the end of the game.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're pretty close to the end of the game. Are you in your second solar system yet?
Yeah, so...
Then I mean,
I just beat Monsters Inc. and I guess the next one is Frozen for me.
Okay, I mean you're over halfway through the game.
Okay,
as far as if you stay like main story quest, you're at bare minimum halfway through.
Because
the game,
there's still what you got Frozen, Pirates of the Caribbean,
San Francisco,
or Big Hero 6, and that's it for the Disney worlds, right? Well, the ones that people know of, unless there's a spoiler one that I don't know of.
Not really.
Okay.
I don't.
That would be, I guess, kind of the.
I don't know if this is considered a spoiler. So if it is, you can. Once I say it, you can edit it out.
Okay.
But after you finish the Disney worlds, you go to the Realm of Darkness.
Okay. They've been leading to that,
like the beach where Riku and Mickey are.
Yeah, they've been leading up to that.
And you play as someone that's not Sora.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I know who it is, but I'm not going to say who it is.
And so seriously, I got to stop like right there, because if I go any further, like past the Realm of Darkness and what happens there and what happens next, I take a straight deep dive into spoiler territory.
Yeah,
which deep dive itself is also super advanced Kingdom Hearts pun. I don't know how advanced it is, but it's a pretty good pun.
I get the reference. I mean,
my puns are my power.
Hashtag one for all. Hashtag all for one.
I never thought I'd find my way back to this beach. Hashtag finding myself. Hashtag which way to the hair products.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's not even hashtags, it's hearts.
They're heart tags.
I'm sure whenever they came up with that, somebody in the office was like, oh, hell yes. This is exactly what needs to happen.
Oh, the one that gets me, the one that shows up all the time is the one that we just referenced, the all for one for all. Yeah. My friends are my power.
My friends are my power.
It's so cringy, man. It is so cringy.
Kingdom Hearts is light. My friends are my power.
I hate the dog on the game so early on. I do have some negative points, but
that shit's cute though. Yeah, I mean it's kitschy.
It is a callback to the older games,
right? But okay, how old were you when the first one came out?
Old enough to know that shit was corny.
Okay, I was just still young enough to not know that shit was corny.
What year did it come out? I think we said it last time. It was like 2002.
I want to say 02 and then 07 was 1 and 2.
I would have been right around 20 when the first game came out.
Right.
So I was just of the age where kids games were
I think
not
I
for
was 12 or 13 when it came out. So.
It was okay. When I played the original, it was corny as hell to me when I played it, but I still enjoyed what I played. And so when I started the third game, I guess the third game feels much the same to me. Like there doesn't seem to be much of a progression in gameplay style,
right?
Or the style with the corniness. And but it's still like I still want to keep playing it, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still that level of addicting nature to it, you know? I feel like as far as gameplay goes, there was probably a lot of pressure for that to not be changed.
Right.
Because everybody was expecting, like, they took the same gameplay but put it in an arguably much grander scale.
Right.
You know, there's a lot more depth to the levels and a lot more range of motion and a lot more accessibility, you know? So beyond that, I feel like as far as mechanics go, there's probably pressure to retain the same play style.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just for fan service.
Right.
Really. I mean, there is the argument that it does have a very distinct style. I feel like the cheesiness, especially at the beginning, like the opening few hours of the game, it was just like could somebody not have reviewed the script a little? You know?
Yeah. Okay. The fact that I had to, I played both of the original games and I had to go and watch a YouTube video. Shout out to this YouTube video too. I'm going to reference it for people to check out if you're even a little bit interested in it. It's a great video that really got me up to speed. Even though I had played the first two games, I kind of knew what was going on, but not very well. And this video did the best job that it possibly could to kind of bridge that gap for me. I still don't completely understand it. But
well, I mean, there were 7 games in between 2 and 3?
Something like that, yeah.
That you had to have kept up with to really be up to speed with what's happening in 3?
Yeah, and
I didn't even play all those.
No, and I don't think most people played any of them.
Most people didn't. I know 2 or 3 people that did.
Yeah.
And I mean, even those guys that did that are like, this story is so hard to keep up with.
Well, and then they were all released on different platforms, first of all.
Yeah.
And so you had to have owned all these different platforms, plus owned all these different games, plus understood what was going on in the previous games to be able to continue what was going on in the new games. The only other game that I played besides the first 2 games was the 3DS one, which was Dream Drop Distance.
Right.
And I played probably half of that game before I got kind of bored with it and stopped. And I got bored with it because I had no idea what the hell was going on in the storyline, and it completely lost me. So that's kind of how Kingdom Hearts 3 is leading itself for me. Like,
right. Because there's so much there is so much extra stuff that I don't personally feel needed to be developed and folded into that story.
It's not even really properly developed, and I think that's the biggest problem that I'm having with it.
Because now there's Heartless and Nobodies,
yeah,
and replicas and the Unversed. And everything's about computer programs and sleeping and waking.
And everybody has an alternate version of themselves. Then people like Sora have multiple hearts within his heart.
And I mean, I could try to start clearing some of that up for you if you want to hear it. But I see it in your eyes, the ache of not wanting to hear me rail on this.
It's so like convoluted and confusing,
but the gameplay
doesn't need to be there. Yeah, you're right. The gameplay is fun. The gameplay is the battles. I never get sick of the battles, to be honest with you. They're really exciting. The fact that you can call on or summon a special ability so quickly, and it doesn't really waste resources to do so. Like,
who's your favorite summon so far? Or Link?
Honestly,
it used to be called summons, right? In the first two, they were summons.
Yeah.
And now they're called links.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Honestly,
I thought that was weird.
I've only used the very first one they give you, the hopping something or other from drop distance. Yeah. Okay. I've unlocked a few of them. In fact, I unlocked one last night. It was like Simba, I think.
Simba is the jam.
Is
dude.
he?
Yeah, yeah. That is a boss ass summon. Wreck-It Ralph's trash.
Is he? Okay, yeah. I haven't tried him yet.
I was disappointed that Wreck-It Ralph wasn't a whole level.
Wreck-It Ralph level would have been so cool, man.
We all wanted a Wreck-It Ralph level.
Oh,
even in the toy store, whenever you're in the Toy Story level.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to the toy store, it would have been cool, like maybe if they had had an arcade in the toy store that had like a Wreck-It Ralph mini level.
That's a good idea.
Something like that would have been awesome, other than using such a rad character with a rad backstory and a rad movie and a rad fucking following.
Yeah.
And then making him just such a shit summon.
That's so true, because I really felt like they could have done without the Monsters Inc. level. That level, I don't know your take on it, but I just finished that one last night. It did nothing for me, man.
The gameplay was a bit dry on that level.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really feeling as far as the motion of the level, but their monster designs, those were fun.
Yeah.
The transformations.
The character designs for Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was cool.
That was cool. The Heartless designs were really cool. Because each level that you every level has like at least one proprietary Heartless that's designed for that level.
Yeah.
And the kind of spiky, kind of twitchy little Heartless that were introduced in that level, they were cool.
Those are the Unversed.
That's right, the Unversed.
Yeah.
The mech battle thing was neat.
The mech battle. That was in Toy Story.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about Monsters, Inc., not Toy Story. That was neat, though.
It was neat.
Okay, so Monsters, Inc. was so dry, I've accidentally started referring to other levels. But the design of the level was cool. It was a cool level design.
I didn't think it was, though. I thought it was super bland.
I liked what they did with the idea of the transport of the doors, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like that whole idea and the door vault and all of that could have been explored to like a grander scale. Like
right.
Maybe where you're fighting, like, you know, you're going through doors into different like human homes.
Exactly.
And fighting the
Dude,
bad guys out of the children's rooms, fighting the Heartless or the Nightmares or the Darkness out of the kids' rooms, and then having to go back and go to another one. I mean, something like that could have been fun.
It could have happened, like maybe not in a kid's room, but
maybe wrap in an Easter egg where you open one door and end up in Andy's room as your human self, and then have to go back. That's. I mean, they kept stuff like that would have been easy to fold in.
They kept that whole level self-contained within the Monsters
in
Inc.
the factory.
Yeah, and it was a boring. It's a boring set.
Yeah, even let us just get out in the city a little bit would have been cool.
Yeah,
honestly, or run into more characters from the movie. That would have been fun.
Well, and that whole level in general, like up to that point, I had played Toy Story and Tangled and Hercules. And I actually enjoyed all three of those.
Yeah.
I thought they were all fun. The standout for me, surprisingly...
Toy Story was a really good level.
Toy Story was good, but the standout for me was Tangled.
That was a great level, and Rapunzel was a surprisingly good companion.
She was a good companion, but the thing that stood out to me was the city. Was it Arendelle or is that Frozen?
Arendelle is Frozen.
The city that
it's Corona.
Corona, that's
Corona,
right.
yeah.
That level, being able to explore that city, I really had fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
It was a sprawling city complete with, several NPC characters that you could randomly run into and talk to. It was a fun level. I liked it.
It was a very fun level.
Also, the enemy designs were fun in that one, too.
Oh, yeah. The big boss at Rapunzel's tower.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
It was. It was an exciting fight.
Good character design.
It had a lot of like variation in the combat style.
Yeah.
Like he would put up those gates and you would have to try to squeeze through the little holes and escape the bombs that he was throwing at you. It was a good level. It really was.
It was a surprising standout. I really am surprised with how bland Monsters Inc. turned out to be. And even, I'll give it this caveat. When we're talking about how good the monster character designs were for Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Yeah.
I really liked Donald and Goofy. I thought Sora's monster design was kind of weak.
He looked like a furry.
He was, yeah. He was like this emo kitten.
Yeah.
Really, if you look at the original concept art for Sora before the first Kingdom Hearts came out, he was kind of like this island faring, like, lion boy hybrid.
Yeah.
And I feel like they missed another opportunity where they could have harkened back to that a bit.
Yeah. I have never seen this, but it makes sense. Yeah. Maybe they did in a certain sort of kind of way.
Oh, who knows?
I mean, really, the only cat feature he had was his mouth, and maybe some ears. I don't remember. He had
big ears, big fluffy cat ears.
Donald and Goofy though had like,
they were cool.
They had pretty
spot
looks,
on. Yeah. And the running joke of Boo thinking Donald was Mike Wazowski because of the one eye, that was funny. That was cute.
Yeah. There was aspects of it. Honestly, I had a lot of negative feelings about this game, and talking to you about it is kind of like, yeah, okay, I didn't really see it that way,
It's because I'm infuriatingly positive.
Here's what's dragging me down though, and I think this is what's dragging a lot of people down. I haven't talked to anybody else really about this game, but every time one of those hooded motherfuckers pops up on screen,
Organization 13,
I immediately lose interest and blank out, dude.
Because if nothing else, you are in for at least 15 minutes of cutscenes.
Exactly.
There was one point in the game that I timed it. There was 10 minutes of cutscenes, and then it opened up to a hallway that we ran down. No other characters, no chests, no battle. Nothing. Literally ran from one end to the hallway to the other, and then another 15 minutes of cutscenes.
Oh man, yeah. This game is very story heavy. It really is.
Milking my patience.
Yeah. That's surprising. Knowing how invested you are into the lore and the Kingdom Hearts storyline, that is interesting to hear.
There's so much that they say so much in these cutscenes that it's like, okay, here's a 5-minute cutscene that is genuinely important. Now here's 10 minutes of fluff.
Right. Right.
It's like having to write a paper and making sure you use large margins and double spacing. There's so much that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Even as far as the story goes, there's these bits and pieces that's like, you could have done that 5 minutes in 70 seconds.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
There's just a lot of extra. That doesn't, and then, like I said, we've already complained a little about the nature of the scripting a little bit,
right?
Know? Like in Arendelle, the Frozen level, when Olaf was like, "Well, I've never met somebody blue before, or green before, or spiky before," and Sora's like, "Spiky? Oh, he's talking about my hair. My name is Sora." Like,
it's so incredibly cheesy.
Who cares, Chief?
It's so cheesy.
I'll tell you what, that dumbass snowman doesn't care.
There's a lot of moments like that, but that's kind of historically accurate for the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it is. Game. But
but does it feel a little bit more awkward considering that Sora is an adult voice actor still trying to voice a kid?
If you look up a picture of Haley Joel Osment now, he's like kind of a burly, he's a fluffy guy.
Yeah.
With a big fucking beard.
I can imagine him trying to do his voice. Oh, I gotta see this now. And then
he's still throwing out this voice like a teenage kid, which also means his voice hasn't changed in 13 years.
He's got to be forcing it. There's no way his voice is that high pitched.
Or maybe they're like modulating it digitally.
They could be. But to be honest with you, though, it's off-putting to me to hear his... I've
that's
seen his
Sora
picture.
in real life.
He's
like a furry baby.
It's off-putting to me because you can still hear the adult trying to
sound young,
like young, and it just sounds even more cheesy.
Like, when that's what he looked like when they did Kingdom Hearts 2, and seeing that image as Sora's voice, I was fine with that. Look how dreamy those baby blues are. But now
he's a gruff old man.
Yeah, he looks like a really polite biker.
He does. Well, anytime Sora speaks, I just want him to shut the hell up. He's not. I don't like his character. I never have.
Also, part of Sora's character historically is that he's a bit of an oaf, a little bit of an idiot. Mm-hmm. But I feel like in Kingdom Hearts 3, they've really been kind of on the nose with what a dummy the boy is.
He's such a dummy. Like, there was one
Which
scene,
is funny that they made Goofy the most sensible member of your troop.
He is. Isn't that weird?
He's the one with all the ideas. That boy's the boss.
Goofy theoretically should be the dumbest one of the bunch, and he's not. He
is the chief of the Knight's Guard or whatever.
Yeah.
The King's Guard, whatever.
You know what throws me off, though?
He's a military leader. In that continuity.
So he's just been playing a part.
He's a strategist. Yeah, he's a master strategist.
What throws me off the most is Mickey. Mickey is so serious all the time.
And just such a little badass with that fur.
I just know everything and you must listen to me. That was more you.
Riku, get out of here.
He's so deadpan serious every time he comes on screen. It's like, no, that is not Mickey. Give him some sort of life, some character.
Yeah, give him some funny, but that just the angst that he's got.
Yeah. And they pair him with Riku, who has the most angst of anybody in the damn game.
Voiced by Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven.
That kid David Gallagher from that old show from the 90s.
I remember the show, yeah.
Yeah, the middle brother, David. Or maybe he was the younger brother. I don't remember. But he's always voiced Riku.
Riku doesn't even look the same as I remember him looking.
He's turned real anime looking.
Yeah, he has.
Well, actually, the character design has changed on all of the original characters.
But they don't unrecognizable.
They don't look like bright and cartoony like they used to anymore. They've turned real. I don't know. Capcom?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, they definitely have an older style, I guess. An older character, older.
Their eyes are smaller and their dimensions have gotten more realistic and their renderings have gotten more realistic.
Their feet have gotten smaller.
They grew into their shoes.
Yeah.
That's a solid point in the right direction.
Yeah.
No mention of adults has happened in years. Where did the Final Fantasy characters go?
Dude, I wanted to bring that up too. That is so incredibly disappointing to me, considering the fact that I was only interested in Kingdom Hearts to begin with because of the Final Fantasy characters, and they basically stripped them all out. At this point in the game, I have only seen Cloud, and that was only in reference in the opening cinematic of the game.
They referenced him. The Moogle is still around.
That's it. That is literally it. I mean, that is such a bummer. I know I read an article saying the director of the game basically said, well, we don't really need them. We feel like the characters of Kingdom Hearts stand apart on their own. They don't need the...
It was part of the dynamic.
It was part of it, man. That was the driving force for me to keep wanting to play.
Absolutely.
The Disney worlds... And actually, on that note, as far as the driving forces for me wanting to play this game, it's only because I enjoy visiting the Disney worlds. And I think I've said this to you before. The storyline loses me. That's why I said whenever those hooded guys come up, the Organization 13, anytime they pop up, all they're going to be doing is talking about how Sora's got another heart, or they are the alternate version of another version of themselves, and they're bad, but the other version's good, and it's incredibly confusing.
Awaken? Is that what it is? Or have the power of waking?
Waking. The power of waking before he can descend to the depths or whatever.
Certain people are asleep in certain realms, and
he's got...
the next one's going to be Kingdom Hearts woke up with a boner.
Kingdom Hearts. Actually, there better not be a next one. They just need to.
I'm sure there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4, but I have read rumors that now that the Final Fantasy characters are stripped away and everything has become much more original character centric.
Yeah.
By Kingdom Hearts 4, the Disney thing will be stripped away too. And it will just be original characters and original.
Do they really honestly think? I mean, okay, I could be totally wrong, but do they really honestly think that people love this storyline enough to want to have more of it?
I won't care by then. Also, though, by the time Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I mean, I'll be 43.
Yeah, at this rate,
You know,
yeah,
you'll be pushing 50 by the time that comes out.
probably so. It's just, I don't think anybody is really tied to the storyline. It has gone out of its way to confuse the audience to the point where you need to watch videos and really analyze and study the storyline to even remotely understand what's going on. And even after you do understand, it doesn't matter because they keep making up their own damn rules. Like every single time they made up, when they introduced the Unversed, for instance.
Hold on just a sec. Did you say you were 30 when the first one came out?
No, 20.
20. I think you said 30.
Pretty sure I said 20, but if I said 30, I meant 20.
I was just mathing and I was like, wait a minute. He's not that old.
No.
Sorry, the Unversed.
The Unversed, they introduced the Unversed.
And they introduced them so flippantly, which, I mean, they're from a past game.
See, I didn't even realize that.
Man, I want to go off on this and explain it to you so bad, but I already see you hurting. I don't want to hurt you more.
All I know is that they popped up and they say, what is this? And they had a new symbol on them. They're like, oh, this is the Unversed, and blah, 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 blah about the Unversed.
I mean, they were created from Dark Energy whenever Ventus split from Vanitas, and that's really all you have to know.
Oh.
And I could not say it.
How do you remember this shit, man?
I just know these things.
Man, like, all I heard was words. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is a new enemy that I have to fight. Okay.
It looks exactly like Heartless, but with a different logo.
Yeah, right.
And
then they still go underground and pop back up in different places. And, so it's, after that, it's like these characters just accept them as like, oh, okay, yeah, these are Unversed and we know exactly what they are. Let's fight them. And then they just...
Yeah, I think it was Goofy that said it too, wasn't he?
Probably, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Sora,
Yeah.
those aren't Heartless. Those are Unversed. And Sora's like, oh, right? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unversed. Oh no, we got more Unversed.
Rad, let's fight those guys now.
Oh, so
okay.
Donald, I can't understand anything that dude says.
I love it whenever they point out that you're probably in an area that you should be looking for ingredients.
Yeah.
And Donald's like, we can probably find some ingredients around here. And by the time he's finished, by the time he gets through with, we can probably, I'm like, dude, I'm already hitting Chinese boxes as fast as I can. All right.
Yeah.
Cool it with the ingredients. We haven't been back to Twilight Town yet. Who do you think's gonna cook for us? Little Chef's not waiting anymore. He thinks we're dead now.
Yeah.
We've become an ingredient.
Yeah, they're still, or they'll shout out whenever they spot the Mickey Mouse head. What do they call this?
The lucky emblems.
The lucky emblems.
Half the time I still can't find them.
Yeah.
Whenever they say that they found one.
I'm not purposely looking for them, but I do find them on occasion just by accident.
I've gone back and started looking for them. I got wrapped up in it.
Did you? I'm trying to figure out, okay, the whole leveling and menu system. Do you utilize that very well?
I'm okay with the leveling system.
Do you use it?
I do. Not to the level that it is intended to be used.
Right.
I get in there and I do level up the Keyblades. But at this point, we've got 3.
I forgot how to level up the Keyblades. I remember they showed me right at the beginning of the game, and I totally forgot how to do it.
Oh, man. I bet you've got all kinds of shit you could level up your Keyblades with.
What? Like what?
Well, okay. If you have a bunch of Damascus, you need Damascus to upgrade most of the Keyblades. But it's kind of hard to come by, so you can only do a few upgrades at a time in between levels.
Shit, dude, I haven't done any.
But I bet you've got so much. We could go through and pick out your like 3 or 4 strongest Keyblades and probably level you up hard for the second half of the game.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll
dude.
do that before I leave.
Well, I didn't. I remember they showed me that, and I haven't been able to find that menu to update those. The only things that I do,
you have to find that menu. You go talk to the Moogle at the Moogle shop.
Yeah,
and then you go to, like I can't remember the word, the forge or whatever to where you would go create weapons and stuff.
Now I remember.
You go in there and then you plug in your upgrades.
Okay. Damn, I completely forgot.
And that's also where you buy new weapons for Donald and Goofy.
I've been buying weapons for Donald and Goofy from the Moogle.
Yeah, that's where you buy them.
Okay.
It's
yeah. What I'm finding the leveling system to be more of a nuisance than anything. Like, whenever you have to level up your abilities and go through and you can choose new abilities to apply to your character, it's I'm like, I just go through and choose whatever ones will fit within my numbered slots, whatever I can fit in there.
Right.
But I don't really use them, or I don't know if they're benefiting me or not.
See, and I actually, in a weird turn of events, pay attention to all of that. And I put the right potions with the right characters and the right abilities with the right characters and upgrade all of our clothing and armor or whatever,
right,
our accessories, items, all of that, to make sure that, like, for the bosses that we're fighting or the level we're going into, we've got the strongest equipment sets that we can.
See, I don't understand, like, what the bosses would need me to equip for,
Well, for instance, if you're having a hard time, like, say you've been fighting the same boss 4 times,
yeah,
and you die again, you can go down, instead of try again, you can go down to prepare and try again, and it'll take you back to your last save point and say that is a fire heavy boss. You can go through and up, like, your frost stats and then plug everybody in with, like, elixirs, panacea, and high potions.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I guess the problem is I haven't died yet. I haven't found any. I haven't found any challenge to the game yet, so I haven't really found a use for using those. It makes sense in that point, but I do if I remember to, I will go in and start re-equipping my characters with new equipment, and then I'll read it and it'll say, like, moderate defense plus fire defense or something like that. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll pop this on. I don't know if it helps me or not. And, and then honestly, I haven't had any problems. I rarely use any magic or anything. Like, mainly what I do is mash that X button and jump around, keep mashing that X button. If I get low on health, I'll use a cure magic or potion. And every time a special ability comes up that you have to push triangle for, I'll use those, and I pretty much dominate all the bosses with those special abilities.
With this game, it is crazy how much you and I have switched roles as far as, like, play style and everything, because I do prep and pay attention to what I have on hand, and I vary my attacks. I use a lot of magic, a lot of potions, a lot of spells.
Weird.
A lot of links and summons.
That is definitely like our character difference,
Yeah.
I'm more the JRPG, like, yes, I prepare for every battle, but this game, for whatever reason, isn't, either it's not explaining it to me very well, or it's not challenging me enough to...
It may just not be challenging you enough.
I'm just not taking those things into consideration. But I still enjoy the battle system, even if I'm not utilizing all of those magic spells and everything. Yeah. Like the summons that we talked about earlier, dude, I've never used them. I've never felt the need to, and I forget that they're even there.
The first one that you said you've been using,
I've used it like twice.
It's cute. It's fun enough, but kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph is garbage. Simba's a badass. Ariel is mediocre if you use her in the right battle.
Mm-hmm.
Stitch is hard to get used to, but once you do figure out how to really use Stitch correctly, that can be a really badass attack.
I need to get using those.
Yeah,
I do like how much different each Keyblade is from each other.
Oh yeah,
dude, I love experimenting with those Keyblades.
Do you have a main right now?
Well, it was the Toy Story one.
Because that's a great Keyblade,
It really is. You get that big hammer that does a huge AoE attack.
What is it? The Hyper Hammer?
It's
It turns into the hyper hammer and then the hyper claws or something.
The claws I just got. The claws are...
Or the drill. It's hyper hammer and then the drill hands.
The claws are the
Drill
Monsters
punch.
Inc. one.
Yeah.
But the one that I've been using quite a bit recently is the one you get in the Tangled level.
That's a good one, and it's got a good special attack.
The best part
finisher.
about that one, the finisher is good. The best part about that one is, besides it having a huge area of effect, whenever you get to the third part of the combo, it turns into this kind of laser that circles you and like, hits everybody around you. It's really great for clearing out rooms.
Oh, yeah.
So I use that one quite a bit. But then the big finisher is the tower that pops up and then you shoot all those things down. I love that Keyblade. I don't remember the other two games having that level of detail with the Keyblades.
They didn't. I mean, they had reach and then different stat powers.
Yeah.
Like this one's strength, this one's defense, this one's magic. But these are that's one of the best pieces of the game is how varied and detailed the Keyblade selection is.
You really get attached to a certain blade.
Right.
Like, I didn't want to stop using the Toy Story blade to try out the Tangled one, but I'm so glad I did because I think I preferred the Tangled one over the Toy Story one.
I have a hard time not playing with the Kingdom Key, the classic. I just out of principle.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad that I got away from that one though.
Well,
it's
sure.
so basic.
It's so basic. Absolutely.
There's no like real special tack with it. Or Sora can now like go into Fury mode too.
Rage mode. Which is super rad.
It's cool, but I don't know how it gets activated.
It gets activated whenever you get below a certain amount of health X amount of times in a battle. And then whenever you activate Rage mode, it gives you a certain amount of health back. And
for me, it's been filling my health all the way up.
But then your attacks get faster and stronger, and then you can hit triangle, and it's a risk charge.
Yeah.
And it takes away your health to make your attacks even faster and even stronger. And you can do that 3 times before your finisher, as long as you don't die in between.
Right.
And that gets business done.
It is really cool, and it always seems random when it pops up. So I want to use it more often. But I didn't realize that's how you activated it, is by getting low on health a certain number of times. Yeah. That's interesting to know. Maybe now I could call upon it more. But honestly, I don't feel like I need it. Not with that Tangled blade. And if I find any other blades that are even stronger than that one, then I might be good. But the best part for me are the Disney World attractions that they bring in.
That's pretty cool.
Those are awesome.
That's the special attacks.
Yeah. So I've learned... I learned early on how to get those. You have to attack the enemy that has a green circle around them, and that will give you those attacks.
Right.
I was impressed for learning that, because everything else in this game... It's
not an obvious thing to learn either.
Everything in this game is literally like tutorial pop-up screen, and you have to read through it and retain everything that you just read. Fight. And then fight. And then right after that, here's another one, and it's just like... I'm 14 hours in the game and I'm still getting these tutorials pop up, and I'm sure you are too, even further in the game. That is annoying to me. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did that, and I freaking hated that. It's like, teach me everything up front, and you're overcomplicating things. It's like, that's the biggest flaw, I think, with Kingdom Hearts. It wants to overcomplicate everything.
Everything.
Tutorials, storyline, all of those things. It just overcomplicates everything. But... back to the attractions. What's your favorite attraction?
For a while, I really, really liked the teacups.
Yeah, the teacups are nice.
Because they have a good finisher.
Yeah.
But like the bumper car with the laser gun thing.
Yes, that's my favorite.
It's pretty cool. At first, I hated it because it was hard to figure out, because it always starts you facing away from the action every time.
Yeah.
And then you got to turn back to the fight and start shooting and everything. But you can hover, you can shoot on different levels, and if you time it correctly, you can get a lot of damage done with your little gun on there before your finisher hits.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty cool.
I love that one because I feel like I have control over what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Like it becomes a first person shooter at that point, and I love that.
Yeah.
The second would be the teacups for me.
The water slide one's pretty cool.
The water slide is cool. I find it more of a nuisance than anything. Same thing with
It is only useful for its finisher.
Right. Yeah. Also, the carousel I found to be more of a nuisance than anything.
It's a nuisance. The pirate ship can be useful if you can manage to get all of your enemies close enough to make it useful to pull them in. But really, I think the little laser blaster bumper car thing is it's the best one.
I love how flashy they are too.
Oh yeah,
they're bright and colorful.
They bring out that carnival mentality. You know, that feeling.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the new, I guess, improved Gummi Ship stuff?
I haven't done a single thing to my Gummi Ship.
Me neither. I don't feel like you need to.
I dig the flying around bit, you know, and going and finding like the little treasure planets and, you know, the heartless battles out in space and all that. But even then, I pretty much just set my waypoint and fly straight to where I'm going.
So do I.
I don't spend a lot of time messing around.
I feel like they tried to make an improvement by making it more open to do what you want to do and go where you want to go. But at the same time, there's no real big reason to.
Nah.
It's like I get in my ship and like, okay, I'm going to collect a bunch of these little icons that I have no idea what they do for me. But I'll collect them. And then it's the most frustrating part for me is every time they throw me into that Gummi Ship, my controls go wanky, dude. Like I cannot figure out how to control that.
I had to unreverse all of my controls.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm immediately using the left stick and I guess I'm using the opposite and it gets me all over the place. And then I'm using the right stick to try to adjust my view.
Right.
And it doesn't do anything.
Well, if you think about it, the controls that they give you for the Gummi Ship might work in like a flight sim game or something like that, but they're counterintuitive to the control scheme for the rest of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Does it throw you off every time you jump into that thing?
No, because I reversed them.
Okay. Maybe I just need to do that then, because every time I get thrown into it, it takes me about a minute to get adjusted to the controls.
And then you're almost there.
Yeah. I don't use the default Gummi Ship they give you. I've got this one that looks like a ghost. I don't know if you have this one or not, but if you go into like your special ships or whatever, there's one there that I had that looked like a ghost.
I've never looked. I might have it. I'll go look.
I've been using that one and it's been fine. I did go into the Gummi Ship editor to try to build my own and fuck all that noise. Dude. It is not changed at all from the other two games, and it's
still like slamming your head into a wall.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
It's not fun. It's so many other games have come out that have improved that system of building things. It doesn't work. You've got this grid, three-dimensional grid, and you got all these different pieces that you have to kind of rotate and match and fit together. It's so hard. It's more frustrating than anything. Like you said, knock your head against the wall. So I don't even mess with that. The other thing that bothers me a lot about the Gummi Ship part is when you go to a new level, you have to fight a boss. And the boss battles take forever.
They are long.
And there's no real indication that you're doing any damage to the boss. Like there's no health.
There's also no, I guess, pattern to when you're going to have, because that's not for the beginning of every level.
Oh.
There's no pattern to when you're going to have a boss battle out there.
Yeah. What I'm finding is that when I finish one Disney World, I want to go to the next one. And I just want to like completely bypass the Gummi Ship altogether. I don't even want to do it.
Just want to set my waypoint, fast travel, whatever I got to do. Just play the next level.
It's more of a nuisance than anything.
I see what they were trying to do. It just didn't carry over well.
I felt like they could have really improved the Gummi Ship and made a really solid, like fun spaceship shooter, maybe in the veins of like a Star Fox or something.
Yeah.
Had they gone that route, hell yeah. If it's another gameplay element that is that fun to play, I think it would have changed my opinion on it.
Amen.
Yeah. But on top of that is like every time I finish a level, I know that I'm going to have to sit through long cutscenes about the organization and all the confusing shit that we talked about before. So there's a lot that I love about this game, and there's a lot that I hate about this game. Agreed. It feels like had they cut out all of the convoluted storyline that doesn't make any sense and didn't overcomplicate it more than it already was. Like, you already overcomplicated the story. Just let's stick to that and finish the story out, not complicate it even more by throwing in new elements and things.
Absolutely.
Had they stuck to that and just finished it out, I think I would have liked it better and been able to follow it better, because every time the Kingdom Hearts storyline pops up, the reason I lose interest is because I have no idea what the hell is going on. And I'm trying to. I'm really, really trying to. But they're throwing out names of characters who also have another version of themselves who has a different name, and I don't know who they are. All I know is that they all have hoods and they all have spiky colored hair. That's it.
Bottom line is the gameplay is fun, and the only characters that I am still paying attention to the storyline for are the original crew from the first Kingdom Hearts.
Honestly,
all the other stuff, like, I know that it's all like loose ends that will tie up that central story.
Yeah.
But it's all extra that, you know, it's like watching a movie and you're paying attention to the three characters at the forefront, and then at the end of the movie there's a flashback about how you missed this, that, and that in the background scenes that could have explained the ending. I'm not paying attention to that shit.
Do you feel like the director is trying to make this overcomplicated? Does he feel like he's being like, I don't know, philosophical?
I'm sure it's supposed to be like artistic and philosophical, and, you know, this broad sweeping story about dark versus light and the power of friendship and heart and carrying legacies with you. And
I just feel like it falls flat on its face.
There's just there are too many moving pieces.
There is.
But the gameplay's fun.
If they would just stick straight to letting me go play the storyline, like even with Tangled, the Tangled storyline followed the movie to a T. And I was okay with that.
I was okay with it.
I enjoyed it. Monsters, Inc. didn't. I mean, it was an extension to the storyline. So was Toy Story. And I loved it. It's like, let me do that. I love that part. Everything else I can do without. And that's what's really, to be honest with you, it's been kind of a challenge for me to keep playing this game. Like, I want to see it through to the end just to say that I did. And I do enjoy a lot of aspects to it. It's just all those negatives that I've been talking about really keep holding me back.
Absolutely.
And make me not want to finish it.
I feel that completely. So tonight we're drinking, this is as good time as any to talk about Wild Range Brewing Company IPA.
Yeah. I'm impressed with it.
Not bad, right?
This is kind of a budget beer, like an Aldi budget beer.
Yeah, we got it at Aldi. It's not, honestly, it's not much of an IPA.
Right.
It's more of like a double ale, like kind of like a heavy hopped red ale, more than an IPA.
I can agree with that, but it does have a good amount of bitterness to it.
But it's pretty sweet and smooth as far as an IPA goes.
As far as like, and it's 6.9% alcohol, which is pretty impressive for a budget beer.
Yeah, it's not bad for like $7 for a 6-pack.
$7. I mean, a beer like this, I would say that,
and it's got attractive labeling.
It does.
It does.
It's a good beer, and what I was saying was like this would be like a $10 beer anywhere else, I think, but because it's an Aldi beer, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, not bad. I'm not upset about it. For $7, it's pretty good.
I would purchase it again.
I would purchase it again. I don't have as much to say about it as like our local craft beers that we usually drink. But,
yeah.
You know, it ain't bad. It was something different to try.
Solid choice.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 3 out of 5.
I'll give it a 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't have much else to say. I kind of want to go to bed.
We did go on a little bit, but honestly, final verdict on Kingdom Hearts.
Man, I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
And I'm having fun playing with it. And I think it gives a new generation an opportunity to kind of get into that world. It's a generation bridging game.
Yeah, it really is.
And the fact that it's something cool with Disney characters that I can get my kids and my wife and my whole house involved with and have a good time. It is exactly the game I thought it would be. It is exactly what I spent 13 years thinking it would be. I am not disappointed. I am not super completely like mind blown impressed.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and fun and confusing and exactly what a Kingdom Hearts game is supposed to be.
That's a good way to wrap it up. I mean, my opinion is much the same. I do I do think it's cool that a game like this is a dated game in every aspect, that they modified visually, and battle sense, is a little bit better, or a lot better actually. But it's not much else is different. And I feel like it's a really weird callback to a past style of gameplay that, has pretty much died as of late.
Yeah.
And so for that reason alone, I think it's cool that the game came out. I don't think it's a great game. I wouldn't recommend this game to anybody except for the people who have already invested time in the other two games.
Right.
If you haven't played the other two games, I would recommend that you get the collection that's on the PS4 that, has the first and second game plus all the other games that came out. I'd recommend you play that before you play this. Absolutely. Because, you won't know what's going on otherwise. But on top of that, I don't think you'd like the game if you hadn't experienced it.
I heard another podcast say that this game was a perfectly user-friendly story to start on this installment.
It is absolutely not. No. If anything about what we've been talking about tonight says anything, there's nothing.
Start at the first one and try to keep up, or at least liberally apply Wikipedia.
Yeah. Oh, and if you play the original two, the gameplay style is not that much different. So I don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Those games still, I think, gameplay-wise, hold up. They do. Really well. So, skip it if you're not interested. It's okay.
If you are, do it right.
Yeah, do it right.
Where can they find us?
www.jabgcast.com.
And we all up in your Instagram feed. Actually, we don't get on there much.
We don't. We should.
But we're on social media.
Honestly, Twitter's our go-to.
It really is.
If you guys want to get a hold of us or talk to us, that's where we are. I'm on there daily. And Ryan will get on there and have arguments with people about Kingdom Hearts. Random little arguments. Dude, I cracked up at that.
Come on, though. Come on.
Your point was so valid. It really was. That was just that was a funny little conversation. I liked it.
I left her hanging too.
You did.
That's how I do.
If you guys want to follow us or talk to us, Twitter's the place. But we're also on Facebook and we're on YouTube as well. So
I will leave you with this question on Kingdom Hearts 3 that you will not be able to unsee.
Okay.
Why is everybody wearing plaid?
Damn it. You just ruined this game even more.
Good night.
Tell us about your experience with Kingdom Hearts, Owen.
I like my favorite character is Goofy.
Goofy? Me too.
Yeah.
I like Goofy a lot.
Who's your favorite character?
Sora.
You say it right here.
Sora.
What
Sora?
do you like about Sora?
Malone doesn't know how to talk into the microphone.
Oh, okay.
I like Sora those keywords.
His Keyblades are awesome.
Yeah, tell Owen about it.
What's your favorite Keyblade?
The podcast is over. We're just talking about Kingdom Hearts now. Just us talking about it.
I like the Baymax one.
The Baymax one? Why do you like it?
It's pretty cool.
It's because it's pretty cool.
That's exactly right.
You're pretty good at doing the magic powers, aren't you? Which one of the special magic attacks do you like the best?
The purple one.
Oh, the Donald shoots with you?
No.
No?
Hey, guess what? You find little chests.
Yeah, the treasure chest?
Yeah.
Do you like finding the treasure chest?
Yeah.
What else have you been finding on there?
Games.
Oh, the mini games, yeah. The Classic Kingdom stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, on a new game, you keep on going to different worlds.
What's your favorite world?
We know that. We know that. My favorite one is Toy Story.
What's your favorite world?
Baymax.
Baymax? We haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool, isn't it? Do you remember whenever we were fighting that dinosaur and we couldn't beat it and then Mommy beat it?
She's a better game player than your dad is.
Do you know I'd be a big guy for like a year while I play Kingdom Hearts?
What?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive. High five to that. Nice.
Very impressive.
Yeah. What else? You haven't watched me play too much of it, have you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part that you've seen me play?
My favorite part is when you fight the doll.
The doll? Oh,
Yeah.
that was cool. In the Toy Story world?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
freaky.
Yeah, it was. That was really freaky,
It was
actually.
super creepy.
Did you like that part, Malone?
Fighting in Toy Story? Oh, but whenever you could be the robots in Toy Story.
That's fun.
Yeah. I was in Side Robot. I was with Thor against Side One.
Wow.
Were you in the red one? There's no red ones.
There was a red one.
I didn't see the red one.
Which one did you see?
I don't remember where I saw
We
it.
used a blue one, remember? And a green one, and then there were the cool purple ones that I liked. You liked the red one. You rode in the red one. That was your favorite.
Yeah, but when we saw the green one, it changed purple when you solved it.
Yeah.
Why did it change purple?
That's what colors do when they grow up.
So true.
There's a white one.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
I
Was
saw-
that in the Virum Rex side game?
No, it was in Toy
I
Story.
think so.
It was in Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
Where he threw them in the robot world. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you break the glass.
Yeah, that was cool. That was such a weird part of the game, too.
It was. It was very odd, but cool. I mean, it was cool.
I read up on that later on and come to find out that was the canceled Final Fantasy Versus game.
Really?
Yeah, and they just used the assets from that,
Just threw it in there?
and threw it in there. Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
yeah. It seemed so random when it happened, though.
Yeah.
It was like a completely
When it
different
was
game.
like a commercial for it
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Rex was watching.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it
was
threw
cool.
me off.
It was cool though.
Yeah,
Did you like Sora as a toy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a cool character design.
it really was.
You haven't played it. Do you want to play it at all?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to let you play it sometime.
You should play it. Mone's been playing the crap out of it. I don't know why he's not talking about it.
My favorite thing in Toy Story Land it's the ball pit.
Oh, that was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah,
What's the ball pit?
the area where it had all the little balls, different colored balls in it. You remember that?
When we were looking for the boxes, there were like slides and stuff around.
Actually, that whole part of the game was fun.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Did you like the Frozen level? Were there any levels you didn't like?
Oh, I liked all the levels we went to.
Yeah.
I see the logo from Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember the Oh, you guys haven't played San Francisco yet. Big Hero 6.
Yeah, we haven't.
He was really excited about the end of that level, the big bad guy at the end of that level. But that might be spoiler.
What big bad
territory.
guy is it? I remember what big bad guy
Remember
is.
is the Well, you guys don't want to know. It's a spoiler. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any final words?
There's one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And the Tangled one, the castle was pretty cool.
The castle was cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anything else you wanted to say?
No.
Did you like the Monsters Inc. level? Yeah.
There we go. That's all that matters. My opinion does not count.
I liked the big things that are on the Monster Inc. level. Those big swirly things that are
Oh yeah.
What is it?
the big unversed with the big tongues that block.
The big ones that jump around?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I
They,
hate those
they
things.
borped. Isn't that what you were saying they did?
Yeah,
They
I
borped.
beat so many of those.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
I
good,
beat
then. Because those are hard.
I beat the one with those spikes on his back.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. You're pretty good at this game.
I tried to get on it, but it wouldn't let me.
Mhm.
It
Like, get on its back and ride it?
Yeah, it wasn't me on the snow monster. He ended up on our team.
Wow. Well, that's a good idea. I never even thought about jumping on his back. So
If you want to buy Kingdom Hearts, then we buy Kingdom Hearts. We buy it. It's on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's right.
It's on your PlayStation. Yep.